Okay, so let's get right into it. Have you ever wondered how two people can earn the exact same, really high salary, but one is always stressed about money, while the other is just quietly getting rich? It's a super common paradox, right? And the answer has nothing to do with luck. It's all about the financial algorithm they're running in the background.
So, to make this real, let's meet two guys, Mark and David. Now, both of them are pulling in a sweet $150,000 a year. And on the surface, Mark looks like he's absolutely crushing it. I mean, he's got the brand new SUV, the huge house, all the latest tech. David, on the other hand, well, he kind of looks like he's falling behind. He's driving an older, paid-for car, lives in a normal house, and his phone definitely isn't the latest model. So, from the outside looking in, Mark is the clear winner. Or is he? And this is where the whole story just flips on its head. After just 10 years earning the exact same income, look at their net worth. That's what they own minus what they owe. Mark has managed to build up about $190,000. Not bad. But David? Whoa. David is a millionaire. He has over $1 million in net worth from the same salary that has Mark basically living paycheck to paycheck. How is that even possible?
Well, here's the big secret. It was never ever about the size of the paycheck. It was about their financial operating system. See, they were running two totally different programs that took the same input, money, and spit out wildly different results. One created debt and dependency, and the other created real wealth. So let's go ahead and crack open those algorithms and see what's inside. It all starts with the way they think, their core philosophy about money itself. One guy operates like a consumer. His main goal is to spend. The other guy operates like a capitalist, a wealth builder. His main goal is to own. And believe me, that one little difference changes absolutely everything. So for the wealth builder, the definition of an asset is just incredibly simple, but it's also really profound. You can forget what the accounting textbooks say. For them, the world is split in two. An asset puts money in your pocket every single month. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. That's the entire filter they use for every single purchase they make. A great way to think about this is what I call the goose versus pet analogy. A wealth builder, like David, uses his money to buy geese, assets that lay golden eggs. Things like dividends or rental income. The middle-class consumer, like Mark, uses his money to buy pets. Now, pets are nice to have, a fancy car or a boat, but they don't produce a thing. In fact, you have to constantly feed them with your own hard-earned money. And this leads to a totally different focus. Mark, the consumer, he is obsessed with his income statement. His big question is always, can I afford the monthly payment? As long as his salary covers all the bills, he feels safe. David, the wealth builder, he's obsessed with his balance sheet. He's tracking his net worth like a hawk. His question is, will this purchase grow my assets or will it grow my liabilities? It's a focus on spending versus a focus on owning. So how does this difference in mindset actually play out in the real world? Now that we get the philosophy, let's look at the practice. Because wealth isn't usually blown on little things like coffee. No, it's lost in the big three expenses: your house, your car, and your food. And this is where that gap between Mark and David just becomes a giant canyon. Let's start with the single biggest wealth destroyer for the high-income middle class, the car payment. I just want you to stare at this number for a second. $1.86 million. That's not a lottery ticket. No, that is the staggering amount of money you give up by having a typical new car payment over a 40-year career. It's insane. And this table right here shows how the same amount of cash leads to completely opposite futures. Mark sees a shiny new car he wants, signs a lease for $750 a month. That money vanishes, goes right to the bank to pay for something that's losing value every single day. David, he drives a perfectly fine used car he owns. But, and this is the genius move, he still makes a car payment. He just pays himself, automatically sending that same $750 into his investment account. So after 40 years, Mark has nothing to show for it but memories. David has a portfolio worth almost $2 million. All right, next up is the house. We've all been taught that our house is our biggest investment, right? So what do? We march down to the bank, get approved for the absolute biggest mortgage they'll give us, and buy the most house we can afford. And just like that, you become house rich, but cash poor. As you can see here, a massive chunk of your income, like 40% or even more, just gets eaten by the house. It leaves practically nothing behind to invest in things that actually build wealth. And this leads us straight into the silent killer of wealth building: lifestyle creep. It's this sneaky psychological trap where every single time you get a raise or a bonus, your lifestyle immediately expands to eat up every last penny. That 10 grand raise doesn't go to an index fund. Nope, it turns into a kitchen remodel or a fancier vacation. And this guarantees that no matter how much you earn, you're always just stuck, running in place. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time on how wealth gets destroyed. Now, let's flip the script.
let's focus on the powerful, proactive strategy that wealth builders actually use. This is the simple, repeatable engine that creates true financial freedom.
And the heart of that entire engine is one simple concept: the gap. It's just the space between what you earn and what you spend. But here's the key insight. The size of your gap is so much more important than the size of your income. Someone earning $50,000 with a $20,000 gap is getting rich way faster than someone earning $200,000 with a $10,000 gap. The gap is the raw material you use to build your freedom.
And this is where we can stop talking about vague goals like retirement and just turn it into cold, hard math. Your savings rate, that is, the percentage of your income you're stuffing into the gap, it directly determines when you can be free. I mean, look at this. If you save 10%, you're signing up for a 51-year career. But check out what happens when you get that savings rate up to 50%. You literally buy back your freedom in just 17 years. It's not magic, it's just math.
So you start saving aggressively. But at first, I gotta be honest, it feels slow, really slow. This is what's called the J curve of wealth, and you have to understand it. The first 7 or so years are the valley of disappointment. Your returns feel tiny compared to what you're saving, and this is where almost everyone gives up. But if you just keep going, you hit this incredible inflection point where your money starts making more money than you do. And then the growth just goes vertical. Getting through that valley is the price you pay to get to the top.
So here it is, the entire algorithm, the whole playbook laid out. It's actually really simple. Step 1, earn a good income. Both Mark and David did that. Step 2, aggressively manage your lifestyle to create a massive gap. Step 3, use that gap to buy geese, income-producing assets. Step 4, take the golden eggs from those geese and use them to buy even more geese. Step 5, freedom. That's the whole game plan.
So, what does the future actually look like after running these two different programs for decades? Well, after years of these choices compounding, Mark and David don't just have different bank accounts. They have completely different lives.
This is the result. This is the end game. At age 50, Mark is still stuck on that hamster wheel. He has to work to pay for his expensive lifestyle. He's trapped. David, though, is a multimillionaire. He's what you call work optional. Yeah, he might still work, but it's on his terms, on things he's passionate about, not because he needs the money. One chose to look rich, the other chose to be free.
And that really is the ultimate trade-off, isn't it? It's a choice between the short-term high of looking successful to other people and the long-term, deep satisfaction of being genuinely secure and free. You can have the appearance of wealth, or you can have actual wealth. It's incredibly hard to do both.
So in the end, this isn't about judging Mark or David. It's about taking a hard look at your own financial life and asking a really honest question. When your paycheck hits your bank account, which algorithm does it run through? The one built for consumption or the one built for freedom? The choice is always yours.